Folks, we all know when Donald Trump makes an accusation about someone else, it's actually just a projection about himself.
She said he's a pussy. That's terrible.
And boy, he must have been grabbing himself by himself today. A picture on second thought I never want to imagine again, because he backed out of not one, but two major upcoming events that had already been slated where he could address the nation instead of a dwindling crowd of MAGA morons so tired of his shit they leave his rallies mid-sentence.
We'll cut your taxes from 21% down to 15%.
First thing he backed out of being the second debate with Kamala Harris, which he'd already done previously, but today, one of his own most fervent supporters, Kellyanne Conway, sat down with him to tell him to his face that he lost, which is just a chef's kiss clip, as she also tried to convince him to do a second debate, which really seems like she actually wants him to lose the election, because based on his first performance, that's some alternative advice. And the second being a 60 Minutes election special that was already scheduled, and that a CBS spokesperson said both the Harris and Trump campaigns previously agreed to, that would have aired next Monday, October 7th. So drop a like on the video if you love seeing Trump caught in his own shitstorm, and let's break down why Trump seems to be throwing in the towel.
But I know you, and I just believe when you see the end of that debate, are you going to let that be the last word of presidential debates of this season, end of your career, or are you going to want one more?
So I'd rather debate. I'd rather have another one. The problem is we're so far down the line. And also, I had a 3-on-1 debate the last time. So I debated and I must say, CNN was very fair. And then I had the other debate, and ABC was totally crooked.
So why not have another?
I would totally do another debate, I really would, but there's just no time. I still have to go to Springfield and try some of the fried cat with the mayor. It's a real delicacy there, you know. But also, I can't do another debate because ABC was so unfair to me. Unlike CNN, who didn't call me out on any of my lies, they were very fair because they let me speak my truth, which a lot of people say is not entirely the truth, okay? I don't know, but a lot of people say that. But the other one was like a 3-on-1, okay? And not the kind I like to do with anyone but my wife. So it was clearly very rigged and very unfair.
Because they agreed that they weren't going to do. No, but here's the thing. And I like debating. And I thought I did a great job. I thought that was one of my best debates.
Donald, come on, dude. You clearly haven't watched the tape.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
I thought that was one of my best debates. But it gets spun and spun. It's so crooked. I thought it was one of my best debates. And they said I'm the GOAT of debates. I think I've done really well in debates, okay?
I'm sorry. Did he just say that he's the GOAT of debates? This man has been spending way too much time on Theo Vaughn and Aiden Ross's podcasts, and maybe even doing a little too much blow with Don Jr.
Donald Trump Jr.'s on cocaine. Don Jr.'s on coke. I have a cocaine addiction.
Rosie O'Donnell, ask her. Ask a lot of other people, too, that are lying in the dust.
You didn't debate Rosie O'Donnell, you bird-brained moron. You just insulted her.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't.
That's how you know Trump has serious mental problems. He literally thinks a debate is like a yo mama contest, and the person who wins is the one who gets off the dankest insults.
But what happened is ABC totally violated their agreement, and this guy, was debating me.
But why let that be the last word, then?
Because...
God, I love how you can just see that she is really trying to not tell him that he lost and that he's being a fucking bozo here, but you know she is about to say it.
Because number one, we're winning. Number two, it's very late in the process. You know, the people are voting already. I would like to do another debate. I'd like to do more than one debate. The problem is it's late.
You see, Kellyanne, the problem is it's late. It's just too late to do a debate. It would be like a late-term abortion, okay? 78 years post-birth.
And don't forget, I had two debates. I had to beat Biden.
That one was early.
And then I had to beat her. And the one with her was very late, too. And then we had a fake news organization, terrible, ABC. The worst of all is ABC. I've always said it. That's why they wanted ABC, because they had to deal with ABC. But I said, I don't care if they do, because it doesn't matter. Hey, look, I took on 3 people, and a lot of people say, I think I won the debate.
I think the expectations for Harris were so low because everybody sees her in interviews. But I just want to say that
But she wasn't great.
She's one
she
for
was
one.
Terrible.
You've had 7 of these debates, and I feel like you're Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, okay, he's Ohtani, the same way Mr. Creosote from The Meaning of Life is Derek Jeter.
Pitch, you can bat, and people just want to hear. I think that last 5% that is decisive but elusive right now. Maybe wants to see the two of you together.
Well,
look, some people say she brought her best game. I think she brought her only game.
Part of the problem is this. CNN wants to do the debate, and
Forget that,
CNN
you've
was
done
very
all of that.
fair, and they got killed because they were fair. And Biden was out of the race because of that. You know, if we didn't have that debate, he'd be running now instead of her. And honestly, I think he's actually better than her, which is a pretty bad thing to say, but he's better than her. CNN will go out of their way. They'll do what ABC did, where they'll have, 3-on-1 or 5-on-1 or whatever it is. So I don't think you can get a fair shake.
Right, I'm sure Don Old would love to do another debate. He's not scared. Surely he's not internalizing what Kellyanne is saying and realizing he actually lost.
But they beat us by a whisker. They beat us just by a little whisker.
But if that were the case, why would he not want to do a 60 Minutes interview with CBS? He didn't mention anything about them being a written news network, and it wouldn't have been in debate format at all. In fact, Harris was set to sit down with correspondent Bill Whitaker, and Trump was set for an interview with Scott Pelley. Pelley even said that the original invitation still stands. And a source familiar with the talks between CBS and the campaigns said Trump was first to accept the request to participate in the election special through a campaign spokesperson, and that the agreement was that each campaign would receive equal time, half the episode. But Bitch Boy bitched out, which may not be a surprise when you remember A,
He's a pussy. That's terrible.
and B, that 4 years ago, both Trump and President Joe Biden sat for 60 Minutes interviews that aired in a similar election special ahead of the 2020 vote. And Trump's ended early when he abruptly walked off the set in a huff.
Just tonight, as if to put an exclamation point on the chaos Trump has created, the president abruptly walked out of an interview with Leslie Stahl of 60 Minutes, an interview, right, that he had chosen to do, he had acquiesced to doing, he had sat down to do, then he walked out. CNN learning the president spoke with Stahl for about 45 minutes, and then he was supposed to tape a joint interview with the vice president, Mike Pence. The president, though, then walked away. Then, just now, Trump tweeting, "I'm pleased to inform you, for the sake of accuracy in reporting, I am considering posting my interview with Leslie Stahl of 60 Minutes prior to airtime. This will be done so that everybody can get a glimpse of what fake and biased interview is all about."
So let's get this straight. Trump will sit still like a good little boy and honor his obligations when people are nice to him and let him lie and lob softball questions at him. But as soon as anyone calls him on his bullshit, he throws a temper tantrum, plays the victim, and backs out of a 60 Minutes interview faster than he backed out of the Iran nuclear deal. And like Hillary once said, it's a good thing someone with the temperament of Donald Trump isn't in charge of the justice system. But this time, that carries a lot more weight. Not only because he should rightfully be in jail for all the crimes he's committed, but because if he is president, it won't just be calling ABC or journalists who push back on him rigged and disgraceful, it will end up with them being retaliated against and likely imprisoned. So you know what to do, folks. Vote blue so we can keep the big orange baby away from his dictatorial daydreams. Smash that like button if you want to save our democracy and support the Really American channel and our fight not only to beat Trump, but to elect progressive leaders for this country by subscribing to the channel. Thank you all for watching. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and make sure you have that notification bell turned on so you can see our recap of the upcoming vice presidential debate between Tim Walz and that other weird guy who hates women.